Okay, so we're up to Siman Nun Aleph Halacha Vov. We're working through the halachas of Birchas HaShacha. Says the Mechaber in Sif Vov, Tzorich lahafsik, one has to make a break between Bein Elilim uvein Hashem v'Shamayim also, right? Ki kol Elokei ha'amim Elilim, comma, Vashem Shamayim also. We shouldn't say, we shouldn't put them together. Says the Mishnah Berurah, Ma'at, you have a little break. V'chein yesh lahafsik ben ki lekol. So yesh psik ben ki kol, because there's a little comma between the words ki and kol. Lochein hakaf tegusha, and therefore the kaf is tegusha. For your biblical Hebrew grammatical days, if you remember, there's a concept of begad kafas. These are Chaim, you were talking about this the other day. When the words, the letters base gimel dalet kfas is at the beginning of a word, you have a dogish in them, right? So therefore, since there's a pause, ki kol, so therefore there's a pause, and therefore kol is the beginning, and therefore it needs a dogish in it. If it just flows together, then you don't have a dogish. In fact, there's a comma there that tells you need a dogish. Ovein ha'amim le'ililim, you also need to have a gap there. Ovein shemayim le'oso tzorech gamkein lahafsik sheloi tibola hamam. You shouldn't swallow the mem, and therefore you have a little gap, just pause between shemayim also. It's very easy to run the words in together. Okay. Halacha zayin, sif zayin. Tzorech lekavein the pasuk Pesach es yodech. One has to have concentration to have kavanah when you say the words Pesach es yodecha. Ve'im lo kivein, and if you don't have in mind kavanah, you don't think about the words when you say Ashrei. Tzorech lachzor la'omrei pam acheres. You got to say it again. Amazing. Says the Mishnah Berurah. We'll come back to the Ramah in a second. Says the Mishnah Berurah. Tzorech lechaven sifkot and tesvav. She'ikka ma shekovu lo matzila David. The whole reason why Chazal will koveh you say Ashrei b'chol yom hu b'shvil oisa pasuk, because of this key pasuk of Pesach es yodecha, to remind us shemazki b'y shvach shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to remind us of the praises of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, shu mashkiach al briyosov u'mefarnason, that He takes care of us, and He gives us the parnasa that we need. Take a look at paragraph 18, footnote 18, the famous Gemara. If someone says Ashrei 3 times, the Gemara says in Brachas Daladon Beis, Shehu ben Olam Haba, that he is ben Olam Haba. You say Ashrei 3 times, you're ben Olam Haba. Over Rashi, the Rashi over there, and the Gemara says, Kosav Shu Keneged Shalosh Tefillas. It's Keneged the 3 Tefillas. V'Tiferes Shmuel v'Kaf Chaim Kosfu shetiknu la'omer shalosh pamim kadei shegamim yachzer meloima chelek me'apamim. Why do you do it 3 times? That if once or twice you forget, you don't have kavanah, you came late to mincha, and you didn't, or you on the second ashrei you're in a hurry to go, and you don't have proper kavanah. So at least one time, I'll call upon him pam achas vada yemarna. You've already said it once. Pam achas mehem vada yichavin. So at least one time you said it properly, right? So it's like a safety net. Say it 3 times, at least one time you'll get it right. And through that you'll be merit to go to Ilim Haba. Of course, it's not good enough just to say it. It's not just a question of saying it. You got to think about what you're saying. And you got to recognize the wonders of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You got to just think about the chesed and the gedul of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And by contemplating the amazingness that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us the parnasa that we particularly need, that keeps us away from chet. And if we've got sins in our hands, encourage us to do tshuva. That's what it means, and therefore will be merit to go to Ilim Haba because of all those thoughts. Okay, Pamacheres Sivkot and Tez Zayin, that if you didn't say Ashrei with kavanah, you didn't say the words Pesach Sodecha without kavanah, you didn't say it with kavanah, then you got to say it again. Pamacheres Ayin b'chay Odon Shevi b'Shem Alavush Tzorich Lema Posuk Pesach Ad Soif HaMizmer Kaseda. You actually got to say from Pesach Sodecha, not just that posuk, but till the end of Ashrei, the last little bit. And then you remember later, you're towards the end of Pezukei de Zimra, and you think, hey, I didn't say Ashrei with kavanah. At least then you say from Pesach Zodecha until the end of Ashrei, at the end of davening, just say that bit again with kavanah. That's how important it is. Okay, going back to the Ramah in Siv Zayin, Haggah, although that's not part of the capital Tehillim, we add in that pasuk, V'anachnu nevarechka. V'koiflin pasuk kol haneshama talelka. We double it, we repeat that pasuk. Lefishu seif Pezukei de Zimra, because to mark that is the end of Pezukei de Zimra. V'chein pasuk Hashem yimlech le'olam v'oed, and we repeat that as well. כשמגיע לאתו השם אלוקינו מוידים אנחנו לך, או לפסוק וכל קיימה לפניך תשתחווה, אין לשחוס. אין לשחוס ולהשתחווה שם. You don't bow down there, because come on, even though we're talking about hishtachava, we don't bow down at that point in tefillah. Like we're going to say, lekaman siman kuf yud gimel. For nagu lamed kashem baruch she'amah, the minhag is to stand when we say baruch she'amah, v'yivarech David v'yishtabach. Right, that's all well known. It says the Mishnah Berurah Sif Katan Yud Zayin, la'olam voyed. U'b'shem Hari Kosov, in the name of the Ari, they write, Sheyesh lem gam kein targum pasuk zeh. One should say the targum of this pasuk. Tahanu shnaim yoma. You say Hashem yimlech le'ilam voed twice, like we just said, and ve'echol targum says shnaim mikra ve'echol targum of the pasuk Hashem yimlech le'ilam voed. V'sheyesh lem a pasuk kivos sus paroi shegam parshazu me'ika shira. That's part of the shira. V'shem agra kosu shleilam kiva, and the gra is not to say it. Mi chamoicha. It's actually mi kamoicha. There's a dogish in the chaf. Tinyana hakaf tegusha. The kaf, it's mi kamoicha. Avul mi chamoicha kama. The first one is mi chamoicha. So the second one is mi kamoicha. The first one is mi chamoicha. V'chein kol atzmoisei tomarna Hashem mi chamoicha hakaf refuya. Again, that one, that kaf in that mi chamoicha is refuya. So the tinyana, the second one is kamoicha. The first one, kama, is mi chamoicha. Amzu ga'alto ha'gimel tegusha. The gimel has got a dogish in it. And yidmu ka'aven ha'kof tegusha. The kof has got a dot in it, a dogish in it. Yesh lahafsik bein b'mayim uvein adirim. Yeah, this is an interesting one. When we say sollu ka'uferes b'mayim, comma adirim. It's not b'mayim adirim. People get this wrong. People think it's b'mayim adirim, like mighty waters. No, it's because the adirim is going on the mitzrayim. So the reason the pshat in the pasuk is sollu kaiferes b'mayim. The mighty ones sank like lead. Adirim, i.e. the adirim are the mighty ones. The mighty ones of the Egyptians, they sank like lead b'mayim in the water. So you put a comma. Sollu kaiferes b'mayim. Adirim. The adirim is going on the mitzrayim, not on the water. Okay. Shadirim koyam mitzrayim, because the adirim, the mighty ones, are going on the mitzrayim. V'yom shiras hayom b'simcha. One should say the shira oz yoshir b'simcha v'yidame b'daita ki l'bois hayom over bayom, and you should sort of visualize as if you're going through the sea. V'ha'omer b'simcha moichlin avonosav. Someone who says oz yoshir with simcha, he's avonos moichlin. They say a famous ma'aser with Rabbi Cheskel Levenstein, mashkiach of Amir, and then later in Ponovich. At one time they came into him. They came into his office in the yeshiva, and he was saying Pezukei de Zimra, and there was a bucket of water there, right? And he was not only just visualizing it, he was reenacting it, and he was like jumping over the bucket. He was like reenacting Kriyas Yamsuf when he was saying it. So this is one should say it b'simcha. If you look at note 20, interestingly, with a Mailas Amiras b'simcha, saying Oz Yoshe b'simcha, Kosev b'Sefer Yosef Oimetz, Shaloma, who quotes Sefer Charedim, Shaloma b'V'yosha Hashem ad sof shiras hayom b'simcha. One should say it b'simcha over nigun k'moshe amru b'nei Yisrael b'shas kriyas Yamsuf. The nigun that they said it when they came out of when they were going through their Yamsuf. Hu me'advarim hamachaprim b'li siguf b'li inui. There are certain things which are machaper, and it doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost any pain, any affliction, and that is moichel. Other times it's yisurim which is moichel and things like that. But here it's saying od yoshe b'simcha. That is mechaper without any siguf, without any inu. That's why the minhag is you say it with nigunim. Okay, carrying on. Sif Katan Yudches. K'shayim baruch she'ama mashma beis Yosef. The b'Shabbos nochen gam kein lamed k'shayim ha'posuk Hashem melech Hashem molach. I think that's only Nusach Sfarad they say that. That's Hashem Malach to stand when we say that. V'chein kosav Magen Avraham b'shem Emek HaBrocha. V'chosav Oid b'shem Ha'ari. That Tzibur ha'yoimrim Hashem Melech ha'yoimid imohen. He would stand with them. Afshe lo yagia l'sham. Even if he wasn't quite up to there, when they were saying it, the Ari would stand with them. V'yivarech David Sif Katan Yutes Ad sheyoimar Atahu Hashem Elokim. Right, which is just before V'choros Imay HaBris. That's when you need to stand. Now, most people stand for the whole thing all the way through to Lishtabach, but technically you only need to stand for that paragraph of Vayivarech David up to Atahu Hashem Elokim, which is just before V'choros Imay HaBris. Rizal K'she'ama V'atzah Moshe Bakol Nosen Stocker Mu'umet. He at that point, V'atzah Moshe Bakol, he would have the minute to give stocker. If you look at note 21, it says, "Lekamon." Further on in the Shulchan Aruch in Siman Tzadi Beis, Kosav Shetov Los Staka Kodim Atfila. It's a nice thing to give staka before davening. The Heavy Mishnah Berurah Sham, and the Mishnah Berurah says, "She'ezek kilas kadoshes nagu los staka k'she'em va'ishiv ha'koved lefanecha va'atam Moshe bakol." That is a time to give staka also just before Yishtabach. Some people you'll see over here, they go over to the staka box, they put it in there. In Hagas, in the Nate's Minyan, they go around twice with the staka box. Once during Chazoras Hashas, like in Moshuls, and the other time is at this point. During Oz Yoshir, that Mr. Rabbi Abraham's, he goes around with the staka box at that point. Okay, halacha ches. Ein oimrim hazmiras b'mrutza ki im benachas. One shouldn't rush Pezukei Zimra, one should say it benachas. Says the Mishnah Berurah Sif Katan Chof, Shelo yadagek shum teva. You shouldn't skip out any word. V'lo yavliyem, and you shouldn't swallow them. Elo yotzim mipiv. You should articulate and enunciate the words clearly and slowly. Ki'ilu moine moes. When you're counting money, you do it slowly and with simcha. Because of Rabbi Yehuda Chosid, Misha Eina Melubash Hativ, someone who is not dressed properly, Yispal b'beis v'choref benachas. And you should, it's too cold to come out, whatever. You just say Pezukei Zimra benachas, rather than if you're cold in shul and you won't have kavana. Better to do it at home and do it benachas properly. But says Mishnah, but that is a bit of a problem from what we're going to say in Siman Beis. It may be that you won't have proper kavana. There isn't time now, but if you look at the notes, actually let's have a quick look. 22. For kosav lekamon. When you say Pezukei Zimra and you do it benachas, don't disturb the people around you. Don't scream it out to raise your voice to disturb people. Pezukei Zimra, even though however important it is, ki Hashem HaKadosh Baruch Hu can hear you even if you speak quietly. Yeah, don't have to shout. Okay, in Simon, in the later footnote 23, when he talks about saying Pezukei Zimra slowly, I don't want to scare you, but he gives you approximate timings how long Pezukei Zimra should take. Yeah, Paul is the Bal Tefillah. I would suggest you read it after davening. Don't read it before. You'll get they'll throw things at you. Halacha tes. Let's just finish off the Simon. Just the Sif. Mizma l'soida halacha tes. Yesh l'amar b'negila. Mizma l'soida is a chosh of tefillah, and one should say it with in a tune and a bit of a song. Shekol hashiras hasidus libatel, because all songs in the future will be bottled. Chutz mi mizma l'soida, apart from mizma l'soida. Says the Ramah, ve'ein amrim mizmar l'soida. B'Shabbos v'Yontav. You don't say it on Shabbos and Yontav. Oy b'mei Pesach she'ein toida kreva bohem mishum chometz. We don't offer it up in Pesach because it contains chometz. V'lo be'erev Pesach, nor do we say it on erev Pesach. V'ayin lekam siman tov chof tes. V'lo be'erev Yom Kippur. V'ayin lekam siman tov rish dalet. V'chein nagum dinasenu, and that indeed is the minhag Ashkenaz. Says the Ramah, says the Mishnah Berurah Sif Chotzon Chof Aleph b'Shabbos v'Yontav. Why don't you say mizmor l'soida on Shabbos and Yontav? She'ein toida kreva oz, because you don't offer up the carbon toida on Shabbos and Yontav. And Yesh Mekom is only mizmor l'soida the bereish Hashon of Yom Kippur mishum dichsiv by hariu lashem kol haaretz. It's talking about truas and blowing. Of midinasenu ein minig glomer, but our minig is not to say it on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. The chof beis mishum chometz ki im hatoida yitzrichen havi asor lach michometz. There were 40 loaves. 10 of the loaves were chometz, and therefore you can't bring that on Pesach. And also gam be'erev Pesach lo yochelin havi toida. They didn't bring a carbon toida. Shem lo yuchlu la'achla adzman is chometz v'yistarchu l'sarfa, because you might not finish all the chometz in time of Sof Zman. There's a lot of chometz, 10 loaves to eat it before Sof Zman, which is not that long. Also, ligraim lekachim shavolidei streifen. You can't, cause kachim to be burnt unnecessarily. Umitam zeh gamkein lo be'erev Yom Kippur. And for the same reason, therefore, you don't bring it on erev Yom Kippur because you've got a reduced amount of time to eat this chometz. Mipnei shememai zman achilos mavin midei psul. And it might come to psul. Umitam zeh gamkein hanoig leim b'chol yom pashas har karbonos hashayachim liyochid. And therefore, those who are known to say karbonos in the lashon yochid lo yoma be'erev Yom Kippurim, you don't say them on erev Yom Kippur. The ein revianos on be'erev Yom Kippur because there are certain karbonos you don't bring on erev Yom Kippur like the toida. Zulas pashas oila yochel, and apart from the oila which you can bring. For omrim mizmor l'soida gam be'erev Tisha B'av, you do say it on erev Tisha B'av, but Tisha B'av and on Tisha B'av itself. Ein ledaleg b'yontav haposel mizmor shil yom haShabbos to gam b'yontav nikra Shabbos. You say it even on Yontav mizmor shil yom haShabbos because Yontav is also called a Shabbos. Okay, we'll leave it there.